Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Tuesday. It's February 1st. Happy February. January's over. We're gonna talk about the usual stuff. GameStop. This pattern looks like we're in the cycle. SPY consolidate all day, and now looks like it's breaking out. Power hour. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. We have a Twitter you can follow us on at HappyMoneyYT, as well as a Discord server. Link for that is in the description, where we share our trades and our ideas. Feel free to join on there as well. SPY today kind of slowed its momentum down from yesterday. I mean, yesterday was a pretty big day. 1.5% or so on SPY, but it did kind of confirm a breakout to this upside after it passed that resistance, and all things are go. And now it's breaking out from basically day of consolidating. And I put on the bib retractment levels or whatever to see what's going on here. So kind of held there at that 50%, like that 450. So I'm kind of giving it, I got plays for 457. Don't have anything for 463 yet. My plays for 467 or 457 are just till Friday, and we'll see what happens. Looks like tomorrow, if we kind of continue this up a little bit, if we open kind of where it looks like we're going to close, we'll get a bullish crossover on the MACD, and maybe by next week we'll be testing the final highs on the SPY, maybe 473, 465. We'll see how long it takes. Might be consolidation before then, might just rip, but so far everything's still bullish on that momentum. Today was a much more flat day and mellow consolidation day. It's kind of the same with GME. GME gapped up a little bit. AMC gave guidance, pre-earnings guidance, so that they didn't have earnings, but they shared their revenue or something that was bullish, basically, on what will be in their earnings. It gapped up pretty big pre-market, like 16-20%. GME went with it. I think without that, GME would not have gone up pre-market. So with AMC settled down since then. It's only up 5%. GME also, it's up 2, almost 3%. It did have had a pretty big move this morning up to 116. Kind of consolidated, but what it's doing is it's kind of playing out to a bit like what we expected, just kind of a slow grind up consolidation, and then a retest, and then a rip. If it ripped today like we had yesterday, like another 10%er, then that would have changed where I thought we were on the pattern. But it looks like we are still at this spot, I'd say right about here. That's basically this day. I think yesterday was like this day, and today's this day, and we have probably a week before we get a massive day. So on this trough back here, let's see. Yeah, that's on that one. On this trough, I would say today is more like this kind of consolidation day. Maybe a couple more days up. Probably for us, price range on that would be 125 before we come back down and maybe test 100 or 95. Just kind of seeing this same type of move. So this was 4 or 5 days. We'll see by Friday. We don't have any huge days, and it's just kind of more mellow, maybe little ups, little downs, pretty tight ranges. And if the momentum kind of shifts, say maybe next week, kind of the downside, and I expect maybe a couple days down and retest. We'll see. Yeah, probably like 100 or so, and that'll put us past this line where I think is probably the soonest. Well, historically, this is the soonest that we would have rallied before earnings. We've always rallied before earnings, varying dates before, but the earliest would have been right here. Here's our potential earnings. It could be different. 329. I thought that was 323. I have to check now. And that coincides with the failed delivers of the ETFs and GME, as well as options expiration dates. Oftentimes, GME's biggest rallies and spikes are at the end of months, as we've seen, and even more specifically on Tuesdays have been probably GME's biggest days. Okay, yeah, 323. Did I move this thing? Is it unlocked? So 323. This one was already lined up for that one though. Yeah. So I went back historically and saw how many days before, and that's where this one goes. So we'll see. Like again, today, this day, it's not really confirmed that we're here on this pattern yet. Right? I mean, because all the sentiment is now, a lot of the indicators for me are bullish. We've got bullish MACD. RSI is in a good spot. We've got a big green candle over the 9. Today, doesn't look like it's going to be a green candle, but we'll see. Got about 50 minutes left. If today's big though, or not today, I'm sorry, tomorrow, you know, bigger than like this, or bigger than we're expecting, you know, I'm expecting pretty small moves for the next week or so. A little bit up, then a little bit down. If tomorrow is big, then it's possible we're further along in this trough, or this trough. Instead of being at the beginning of it, we might be at the end of it. So here's the beginning, here's the end. Here's the beginning, here's the end. If tomorrow's big, we might be one of these days, right? Because this might have been yesterday, this might be today, and then that could be tomorrow. I'm more convinced we're back here in this cycle, but you never know. And it's possible they're of course trying to switch things up. You can only switch them up so much because of how crappy of a position they're stuck in. But see, like here, that could have been yesterday, this could be today. And if we kind of, this is basically the same as this. So if we don't switch momentum and then retest, and we just go up, then yeah, we could be at this spot right here. So could have a breakout earlier in this cycle and kind of forego this whole bit where we just come down and then rally. But I'm still thinking it's probably going to come back down, retest. And so February, I think February 18th are still good. I think by the 11th we will have probably retested and probably on our way back up. So, but it is pushing it a little tight. Let's look at what we got going on here. I was in and out of SPY. And I was like, I gotta stop doing this because SPY doesn't usually typically move as big as it's been moving. So it's fun to make gains on it, but this is a more normal day for SPY. Just really flat, 0.3%. No big deal. Didn't really decide to trend either way. I was in and out, took little losses here and there. I jumped back in once we broke that resistance. I was like, okay, I'll jump back in. And yeah, so I have Friday. I ended up at this point with Friday call debit spread. And I actually would have done better, but at one point I closed a spread here and then, or here, wherever. And then I went to open up the same strikes and I accidentally opened it up as a credit because I copied the play, but actually copied the closing play instead of copying the play to open it. So to copy the play to close it, it was a credit spread. So I opened up a credit spread, buy starts ripping up, and I'm like, why isn't this thing going up? So I close that and then open up a debit spread on the other way. Stupid little mistakes like that still happen to me, to everybody, I feel like. Maybe it's just me. There's all the in and out of the SPYs, but yeah, we ended up with a 450, 457 spread. The reason for that is my long call, I wanted it basically at the money, and it was at the money when I bought it, 450, and my upward price target is 57. So that's why I got that for the short end. And that's kind of the option strat, and for other reasons, that's kind of the best way to capitalize on that move if you're thinking it's not going to go above that, if that's kind of your price target by Friday. So that's what I got. It's not huge, but it'll be nice if it works. Hood. I went long on Hood, as you guys saw yesterday. The chart looked nice. I think Hood could do really well actually in the long term, for a lot of reasons, but I'm not gonna go into it in this video. Chart still looks really nice for a bullish run. Started its bullish run. We had calls. That's birds. There's Hood. So I have 15 strike calls for 10 days expiration, and then these call debit spreads that have 24 days expiration. These ones, let's see. Good, yeah. It kind of got messed up. Yeah, and then these. I'm not sure if all these are right, because I actually bought shares of Hood also, and so it made some covered calls. It's a little confusing. I'll get that sorted out. But anyways, went long, bought shares of it because I think I want them in the long term. And I think Hood's at probably its low. I think this 9.9 was probably its low. They had earnings, did well, and oftentimes stocks will move on earnings for a long time, as you saw here. Earnings, didn't like it, dropped down. It's just basically had a continuation ever since then from that earnings, more or less, unless you come out they have good news or something. But this earnings they liked, and I think a 12 billion market cap, 12 and a half. I looked at their financials, and yeah, so I got shares on the E-Trade on the trading count, and I have them transferring over to my long term, and I'll sell covered calls on that, and it'll just sit in my long term. I got 200 shares for that, and yeah, and I guess and then I picked up this 1730 call debit spread from March 4th. That's that one there. I gotta set this thing up so it doesn't automatically assign. I can do that. So this one's 3,700 max profit. If it goes up to 30, my price target on Robinhood, I just did fib levels again just to see. Got unlocked or messed up somehow, it looks like. Well, no, that's the same spot, just moved over. Anyways, 23.6% retractment would put it at $27. So it is a pretty aggressive move from here to there. I gave it a month. We'll see what happens. It seems like it'll probably have a little resistance here around 18. And then it even had a little support kind of ledge there right at that fib level. So that was my reasoning behind that spread. And then SPY. Didn't do anything on GME today. BBIG is up a little bit. That thing was kind of breaking out on and off. We have a really small position on that, but it's looking good. Momentum's kind of continued on 5% today. Kind of broke that resistance right there, but then kind of stayed below it. So yeah, I have to see if it breaks out of that. Kind of building a cup similar to GameStop. GameStop kind of building this little cup and handle. So this might be a sign of just that little rally. I'm thinking kind of rally consolidation for a few days and then probably coming back down a few days after that before we have our big rip. That's BBIG. What else was working today? Wish shares up 6%. Looks like Logi went down a little bit. That's good. Birds, I'm trying to close these covered calls. Yeah, I guess my main play today was actually Hood. Our options for GameStop. So this is a 110, 150 call debit spread. The break even on this is 120. This expires Friday. So I'm pretty hopeful actually that this will actually at least get break even, if not a little profitable. And I'll probably close it with a little profit. Unless if it seems like we're really ripping, then I'll leave it. Because even today, I mean, GameStop almost hit 120. It's not by expiration, but I think it was about break even when that hit 120 or 116. So we'll see. On this slow grind up, I think 120 or 125 will be kind of where we hit the peak before it settles back down, then re-rips. Next one for this week, which is, oh no, that's that one. Oh, this put credit spread, actually. This one is working out well. When I opened up last week, when I started thinking, okay, I see this chart, I see the pattern, it looks like we are in the trough in the beginning and it's going to go up. So I opened this one up. I could buy to close it, but I'm like, I don't want to try and time it and then get back into it. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm pretty confident we'll stay above 96 by Friday. So yeah, that's that one. And then I think that's all we have. Yeah, so I closed out on my short put, which I mentioned before, which freed up a lot of capital. I had like 60% gains on it. But yeah, everything's looking good on GME. It looks like we're in that pattern right here. So a few more days of up, kind of slow up, consolidation, retest, and then rally. Everything's seeming like that. My thesis will change again if we have a big day like this, a big 10% day. Then I'll think we're either later in it or they're just totally changing it up and doing something different and just rallying, which I guess would be the same as if we were later in the pattern. Or if we come down and break new lows, and then I'll change things up. But so far everything's looking like it's lining up right. Indicators are even bullish too. Wire, we got a cup, building a handle, maybe a little more of up, and then yeah. Thanks guys for watching. We'll see you on Discord. Peace out.